few years ago, I restored this transmission and clear coated it, and now the clear has turned yellow. Before it goes back into Project Overkill, we'll fix that issue, and we'll also take care of a few other issues that I should have addressed when I restored it the first time. We'll see if we can hear it puncture. Uh-oh, uh-oh. This transmission has no fluid in it other than what's in it from where it was being built, where you soak everything. So hopefully I can take this tail shaft off and not get a bunch of fluid everywhere. I've got that silver anti-seize stuff all over these threads, and you have to be careful with that stuff because it gets everywhere if you've ever used it. Yeah. All right, well, come here.
The smell of the garage.
What does it smell like?
Cars.
Cars? You're on camera. I'm filming.
Oh, shoot.
I'm filming.
Oops. You got that on film.
Yeah, I got it on film.
What are you doing?
See how this transmission, how it's yellowed? See how it's dingy looking?
Yeah.
Well, when I first restored it, it was bright aluminum. So I have this new paint to try.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a 2K. So you got the lid here, you puncture the bottom, and then just lightly coat it.
Cool.
So we'll do the tail shaft first. Make sure there's no weird reaction. And if it turns out good, then we'll do the rest of it. But I gotta have everything ready to go because once you puncture it, you're on a time limit. Yeah, you're on a time limit. Here, shake it up till that ball quits scrabbling.
I don't even hear a ball.
There's a ball, hang on.
They used to do this to me when I was little.
Well, there is a ball, hang on.
I don't hear no ball.
There it is. There it is. Here, shake that up till that ball quits moving.
Are you gonna do it now?
No, I gotta tape all of it and everything.
It's not stopping.
Yeah, it ain't gonna stop. So that's Miss Sammy. She's headed back to her place. Got a couple-hour drive. So one final note before we go any further on this transmission restoration. Last video, I had laid out my plans for Project Overkill's restoration going forward. I am waiting on frame jig parts for the frame jig. Also, we haven't been lazy. We ended up getting the passenger side door all caught up with our driver side. It's now in full epoxy and everything's ready to go on it. All right, so I'm working on getting this taped up, sealed up and everything. And you can look here at the edge of this casting, it's really rough. Same thing with this here, this casting line. It's got some real sharp edges with that. And it is enough that if you'd be working up in this area, you could actually cut your hand open on this. I've taken that casting down really smooth with a roll lock. And I'm doing the same thing right there. I don't think I'll remove the whole thing. I just want to knock the burrs off of it. And I'm using a roll lock with 180. if you're wondering what these are silicone plugs for powder coating. And they work really good for blocking up threaded holes that you don't want paint going in. And they're reusable. You can take these and you can clean them up and put them in some lacquer thinner and take the paint off and reuse them. They're pretty cheap though. A lot of guys probably just dispose of them. I actually reuse them. I'm not worried about the pan. If I mentioned it before, I do have a new pan that's going on this transmission. Liking how it's looking. Alright, so I saved you guys the trouble of watching me get this thing ready for paint. And I just went over it with the red Scotch-Brite. And you guys already seen where we removed some of the rough casting from the transmission. But overall, it's looking pretty good. It's ready for some aluminum blast paint. So this here is the product that I used before. It's from Eastwood. It's a diamond clear. And it's for bare metal surfaces. And it says non-yellow formulation. Obviously it didn't hold up too well, but we're going to try this aluminum blast and see how it goes. This is also another Eastwood product. It's called 2K Aerospray Aluminum Blast. And as I mentioned, it's a two-part. I've already shook it up pretty good, but I haven't activated it. So we'll need to activate it and then we'll need to shake it again. I couldn't find a P sheet on this on the internet. There's some directions on the can, but it doesn't really tell you a lot. I didn't really see like a time between coats or anything like that. But and it's supposed to spray like a spray gun. We'll see how that goes. I don't think anything's going to beat the LPH80. But let's try this. We'll see if we can hear it puncture. I'm not hearing it. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Well, that was a fail. Alright, so it's been a week since that can ruptured on us. I reached out to Eastwood and I told them what happened. I said, you know, this may be my fault because I had this can for some time. We got to looking at the purchase date. They told me that the shelf life of this was 3 years if stored properly, which it was. So they asked me if I wanted a replacement or a refund, and I thought that was awesome. I said, I really want to try the product. So we have another one to try, and we're going to get to spraying this transmission this morning. Now, the transmission may look a little different to you. I did go ahead and coat it with some SPI epoxy. You have to be very careful with aluminum because it oxidizes so quickly. It oxidizes a lot quicker than regular steel. So we've got it prepped again. We've got it in 2 coats of epoxy. We're still well within the recoat window of this epoxy. And actually, it looks pretty good just in the gray epoxy. It's not really the look that I want, but it looks good in gray epoxy. So let's try this again. It's still pretty difficult. It finally clicked. I hope I got it. I didn't really hear any air or anything moving. I didn't really hear any noise or anything other than that click. I hope it mixed. I guess we'll know if this can is no longer good in 48 hours. But you can see this here just, it finally clicked and pushed in. I would have thought I would have heard some activity, but I didn't. You can see the metal flake flying in the air. So this can is every now and then puking out some funny spots. It's not really the aluminum color, it's more of a, almost looks olive green. We'll make sure stuff's really shook up.
That knows what it's doing. Clean out those spots.
I believe what it's doing is building up on the tip of the nozzle and then spewing out all over the transmission. Okay, so overall, I think it turned out really good, especially despite the issues we had during spraying. And I think the color is spot on. I think Eastwood nailed that. So those spots that I showed you, if I didn't get them up immediately and I just tried to paint over them, you can still see some evidence of that. But the trick was to soaking it up with just a Q-tip and then continue spraying. Most guys would have painted this transmission black and never looked back. And honestly, for a lot of builds, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's not what Project Overkill is about. Over the years, I've had plenty of people tell me nobody will ever see this work. And they're probably right, but I know it's there. To me, that's what a true restoration is all about. Taking pride in the details, even the ones nobody else will ever notice. So I'm going to work on getting this transmission back on the shelf. And the next video you guys see, we'll be building a frame jig. We'll see you on the next one.